Hello, hello, friends. How's it going? It's about that time. We back at it on a Saturday night. How's it going, guys? We're gonna get back to some Disco Elysium. Um, I'm really excited to get back into it. I've been thinking about playing it today. We went to we live near where Bob Ross filmed a lot of this stuff, so we went to go. They're doing an exhibit over in that town. So we went over there and saw that. We saw Bob Ross's original like easel and studio and stuff. That was really cool. I kind of wish that I had the faculties to paint like for realsies. Like I do. I have my drawing softwares and stuff. I can paint with that. And I almost usually prefer that, but I don't know. I think I'd like to paint sometime because there's like something you can't like fix your mistakes like you would if you were doing it on a computer, because you can just click or press Control Z and undo it. The only thing that I noticed, what? Oh yeah, the Oppo Prime. Thanks for your offer. But I don't want to be famous. I don't want to be famous. I already am famous. We're gonna get back into it. The only thing I saw that I should correct from the audio from last night is that the audio for the game itself was a little too low. Let's see.
Yes?
I think the voices are better. That's the only thing that I noticed, is that the voices were a little bit too low. And the music isn't really too loud, so like there's a big difference. The voices are very much centralized in this game. What's up? What the heck? Jake Paul.
Excuse me? You have a distinctive way of walking.
A moment passes. The lieutenant glances at the sports watch on his wrist.
Okay, so there's apparently some things I was looking that I'm missing. There's a bag that is extremely helpful, apparently, that lets you pick up stuff to make money. So we're gonna try and hunt that down. 3 T's, how idiomatic. Let's see if we can find that bag. Who is you?
I am a gander and a hunter and a gatherer. Feel like a traveler.
Okay.
A simple little cadence. He seems to be making it up as he goes.
I am the law. Keep listening? Sure.
From another planet. Hey there.
Aw, he's not crazy. You just gotta listen to him a little bit. What's going on here?
It's the jam, my man.
It's the jam. What's the jam?
It's a traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates up the street are shut tight. No explanation given. Workers on strike, scabs agitating, an all-around clusterfuck. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon days. Upon days.
Limbo, huh? So that's where I am. So how long have you been here?
Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes of mazout.
The fumes of mazout? Extravagantly phrased, but I can roll with it.
Yeah, imagine. It's been a whole week already.
Behind the laugh, however, a touch of sorrow.
So tell me, what do you need?
Care to spare some change for a working stiff? No, I don't want to take your money. Tell me more about this strike.
It's like whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up.
You don't know
making
nothing.
demands, no way in or out.
What's the union demanding?
Some pretty wild stuff, I hear. Like a giant new power crane in half the company? I forget what exactly. Good on them, I guess. I've heard talk there's a company rep in town, too. Like a strike negotiator type. They'd know what's up. Precise demands and so on.
Ah, yes, from the Wild Pines. We'll meet her soon enough, I'm sure.
Oh, what do you think the company wants?
They want to keep that money flowing in, my man. Ka-ching.
Ka-ching. Ka-chow.
He doesn't blame them, but he's not on their side. That's for sure.
Anything else I should know?
Anything else? Yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. I just do my job and get paid. I have things to do and places to be. All of us do.
All of who?
Us lorry drivers. Camionneurs. You still hang around here waiting for this mess to
Camionneurs.
end. Most have scurried off somewhere to get drunk or high. Or laid. Not that I blame them, really.
Not you?
Not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days. I prefer the examined life now. Thinking, reflecting, observing.
He's definitely still doing drugs. Like, come on, man. This seems like a rather depressing place. Care to know anything about the dead man? The one hanging behind the hostel there?
He ain't one of us drivers. I know that. All accounted for. Otherwise, I haven't really asked about that. Been wasting time right here. Keep him busy.
It's easy to see he's telling the truth.
Oh.
He's kept his nose out of the dark stuff.
Drum. Busy with what?
Analyzing the fundamental structural and psychological conditions of being stranded in the midst of a sea of motor lorries and their sad, despondent chauffeurs.
And your conclusion?
A sense of surprise there ain't more bodies hanging from more trees.
Fair. What are you hauling anyway?
Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal firearms, stuff like
Okay,
that.
there it is.
Relax. He's merely joking.
Wicked. I've always wanted a friend in the underworld.
Ha! No, I'm joking, my man. Found runs a nice, clean business. This haul of cargo is mostly sporting goods. You know, tracksuits and that kind of thing. They usually get shipped to Grad and the Occident, though we've been making headway in the Il-Moran market lately.
That's your machine behind you?
This rockin' beauty.
Rockin'
Sure
beauty.
is. Like a rash you can't get rid of. You interested in heavy-duty cargo machinery?
That was 3%.
Amazing. Hey, how's it going, Tim?
A motor lorry, also called a camion, on Caillou and neighboring islands. This one looks roughed up enough to be some sort of found rust bucket. Maybe the A6?
That a found A6 you got there?
Good eye, my man. Yup, she's an old one, but reliable. Me and her spent a long time together.
There it is again. A little touch of sadness beneath his cool. He thinks he's spent too long in this lorry.
Can I get one of those fallen tracksuits you're hauling?
We're pals and all, but I can't just freely hand out the merchandise. The bosses won't be happy.
So nothing illegal then.
Not unless they've illegalized sports equipment while I was on the road.
Right, I had another question.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
Empathy. Ooh, we might be able to... What do you see in his eyes?
Ease into it. Don't go too far. This seems like a personal matter.
Man, you look sad. What's going on with you? My man, I want to know about your soul. That's the one.
Cool. We all want to know each other's woes and all. But people, man, they have slippery souls.
Slippery.
Just like that, he slips out of your reach. It is possible that
My
yelling-
man, I want to feel your soul. I want to feel it. I'm good for now. Good talk.
Don't be a stranger.
Peace out, my man.
Volumetric shit compressor.
Amazing.
Bizarre scientific news from Revachol West today, where a police officer's shit has been observed at a pressure of around 495 gigadecimals. These metallic hydrogen levels of shit togetherness were thought to exist only at the center of collapsing stars, not law officials. It remains to be seen how long the shit singularity lasts. Hobocop.
Hopefully forever. Hey, hobocop.
Technically, you wouldn't be a cop anymore, but a hobo. That would mean game over for the cop chapter of your adventures. But who knows where the hobo part takes you? To the bar? The old l'Assommoir? To the pier or the sewers? To Le Royaume, where for 300 years they interred the dead. You could plunder royalist crypts for long-forgotten triple malt bourbon.
Okay,
Then fight
I'm down
the
with that.
Aramakan beast that lurks the bottommost sepulchres. The secrets of the city are all yours at last.
Reveals extra special collector's edition tear bottles on the map. More money from selling tear. Learning cap for shivers raised to 6. Interesting. That's neat. Okay. That's neat. We need to find that bag, though. Some great tectonic forces cracked the pavement like an eggshell. The damage looks like it could have been caused by an earthquake. Maybe a sea monster did this to the plaza. That seems very logical.
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go.
God damn it, Kim, you won't let me have any fun! Is that a bag? This coin-operated viewer has been banged up, inoperable. Oh, there's the bag. The ad reads, broken window? Tips has windows! If you had a bag in your hands, perhaps you could collect these bottles and sell them. Oh. That's my bag. Am I able to level up, or what are these? I'm guessing I need a skill point. Why is it asking me to look at it then? Okay, let's equip this bag. Oh yeah. Professional. The things I've seen. Nothing I can't do. I'm the job for every man. Listen, boy. I don't start trouble. I fix it. I've been kicked out of every joint in Revachol. Okay, let's grab these fucking bottles, man. We collecting bottles.
Yes?
Okay, bottles, bottles, bottles. What was that? That's fine, I guess. Hello? I hear the distant squall of seabirds.
This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently inaccessible.
Poor little viewer, pat it.
The metal feels cold and wet under your palm. It looks unhygienic.
Look
A
inside.
thick layer of graffito covers the lenses.
Graffito? Why is it
You
called
spell
that?
out the word Onug written on the other side, with N and C
Kuno.
scribbled back. That's Kuno on the lens.
Thanks, Logic.
Under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies a coast studded with concrete and reeds. On it, a church on stilts, lanky weather-worn wooden planks, an X-shaped cross topping its tower. You know this to be the Star of Pericarnassus, or the Cairo. The central symbol of the Pericarnassian church, a star, a great moral height to be strived towards. The church looks old and weather-worn. There are no lights in the windows.
Okay. Thanks, Inland Empire. I don't know. I always feel like Inland Empire is trying to, like, freak me out.
This coin-operated viewer is facing south. The instruction manual says to insert 25 centimes and pull the handle while looking inside. Why place a tourist attraction in the middle of such poverty?
It's a tourist attraction doing here.
There was a revitalization project in 49. A design studio tried restoring Martinez to its pre-war glory. It didn't stick.
What happened?
They got as far as the street lamps and the statue on that intersection. Then something went sour. I suspect that something was Everard Clare, the union leader. He muscled them out. It's how it usually goes around here.
Cool, I dig organized crime, it's the best.
That's odd. I could swear you were a police officer.
Shut the fuck up, Kim.
Your money disappears into the coin slot. A clunk. The ring of metal.
Pull the handle and look
The
inside.
curtains on the display open. You lean in to catch the view. It's blurry. Different blues and greens. In the middle of the shimmer stands a drab grey shape, like a ghost.
Turn the knob to focus your
The
vision.
lenses shift. The ghost sharpens into an islet in the bay. In the ruins, a man-made structure is visible. A half-sunken
seafort.
Its concrete almost reconquered by nature. It looks as if it was abandoned quite some time ago. Nothing but a rotten tooth remains of the anti-aircraft tower. A lonely birch tree grows out of it. Its leaves ripped from it by the winter wind.
Hang in there, little one.
The little brave birch tree seems to wave back in the wind.
Hi, tree. There are ruins of some kind of building there.
Really? I don't have the eyesight to make it out.
Okay, can? Give me the can. Two Roundabout North. Two Cape Side Apartments. Who was you?
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open.
I am the law. Hello.
Are you interested in a new and exciting book?
What kind of store is this anyway?
It's a bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards, and some board games. It's called Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Wow.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold your horses, little girl.
What's a book?
That is a book. They have stories inside them. It's like someone told you a story in a really long letter.
What's a postcard?
A postcard is a small cardboard picture. You can write a few words on the other side and send it to your friend or beloved.
Beloved.
She is unfazed by your questions. She would consider it impolite to point out any perceived weirdness.
What's a board game?
Board games are like little games on a table, made to pass the time. There are several different ones, but sailors here mostly buy cards.
Interesting, thanks.
My pleasure. Anything else you'd like to know?
Is it okay if I ask you some questions?
Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. I hope they're about books.
What is romance?
It's the type of book where there's a rich lady and she has to choose between the good man and the bad
Oh
man.
boy.
Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir.
Man and lady's business. What about when both of the men are bad?
These are not very common. You can't have a choice between bad and bad. Nobody wants to read a story like that.
What if it's written really well?
Well, maybe then it's fine. Maybe if the lady then decides not to pick either, because she doesn't need a bad man. Yes, that would be interesting.
What about a book where the man and lady business doesn't work out at all?
I haven't read many of those. Maybe you should ask Mum.
Yeah, you think she has one about an excruciatingly painful breakup?
I don't think it's a romance story if the main characters break up, though.
No, think about it. One where they plunge into a torrid spiral of pain and recrimination. Only it's really long and drawn out. Scarred for life. Phantom limb.
No, I don't know.
Doesn't ring a bell? Alright, I'll ask your mom.
Yes, she knows books. Definitely.
What was that? An idea for an unfinished novel stuck somewhere in your forebrain? You clearly have issues you need to address.
God damn it, Volition. What about when everyone is poor?
That's really not a proper romance story. That's more like everyday life.
Sometimes you have to write about real life things.
Not in romance books, sir. These are about nice and pretty people, and everyone is happy in the end.
Nice and pretty people. What about a poor man getting a rich lady?
It happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process, or should actually be rich himself, but has lost his family property unjustly, like during the revolution or something.
I see.
Those are unhappy books, for most of the pages. People sad about what they have lost, but then it all turns out just fine in the end.
That's enough romance for me. I had other
Maybe
questions.
some about other books?
Who are these famous people?
Oh, kings and queens and generals of old, or artists and writers, or musicians, those kinds of people. There's usually something extraordinary about them. I think that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame.
That's what a lot of YouTubers
Seems
do.
like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them.
Yeah, that's also the self-help part of YouTube. A lot of people making money off of making like motivational videos about how to get famous and rich, but then like they're the ones getting rich, and like the people watching them are the ones they're like preying on. Reading those doesn't make the raiders more famous, does it?
But it does make the famous people more famous.
Yeah? Fame sounds delicious. Maybe someone will write a book about me one day. No. Fame is for vain people. I have better things to do. These famous people sound like a bunch of dorks.
Annette's expression remains ever so helpful, but she doesn't say anything.
Never mind. I literally had nothing else to say.
Okay.
What is this crime business?
Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that, and the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the criminals.
Wait, not crime fiction. I need to know what crime is. Why would anyone want to read about crime? Okay, I get it. Crime murder gets the people going.
And it's kind of like a puzzle too. You can guess who the criminal is or how the good guys are going to catch him.
I'm a policeman myself, by the way.
You don't look much like a policeman.
What does a cop look like then? Okay, then maybe I'm not a policeman, or should stop being one?
Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen.
She points to a book cover on which you see a strapping Vespertine officer. He stands grimly over the body of a dead woman. I used to be exactly like that Mullen guy, then I decided to live a little. You know, nobody actually looks like the guy in the picture. That's just a stupid fantasy of a man. It's not your body that's important in police work anyway. It's your head. It's your smarts. I don't want to be too mean to the kid. It's not your body that's important in police work anyway.
Head? Yes.
Not head, child. Heads.
Flexibility. There are millions of different people out there, and you have to get into their heads. Sometimes you gotta be the killer to catch the killer.
Isn't that very dangerous?
Policemen live and breathe danger, little girl. Mullen obviously lacks the chameleonic skill.
Unlike you, sir. He's just a fictional character. He's no match for you. Maybe you can show me some real police work, sir. Like in the books.
Oh no. Should we go for it? 28%. I'm just gonna come back to it. Okay. This is a book about pate. This book, you don't really understand what it is about, nor does it seem important. A book about boyadero culture. It promotes freedom in roaming upstream. A book about the future. The government reads your mind using radio technology. We gonna go into the store. What? Bubble tea.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian.
Heimdall.
Nearly all the titles contain the word Heimdall somewhere.
Storekeep, tell me about the Muscle Man books.
Oh, Man from Heimdall. A very popular series of adventure novels. They're awfully immoral and violent books.
Why are they so popular?
Blood and violence, Scantily clad women, epic narratives, all those mystical things he encounters. They're bound to grab those with little imagination and nothing to do.
Damn placents. Sounds good. Which one should I start with?
What does it matter? They're all the same. However, the customer is always right, they say. If you're a novice of the series, I'd recommend Hjelmdalaman, The Man from Hjelmdal. It's supposed to be a good introduction to the series.
I need money to buy the book. I want it, though. Look through the display of books.
Rows and rows of Hjelmdalamen blur your vision. You make out some titles. Man from Hjelmdal and the Mammoth Riders. Man from Hjelmdal, Return to Hjelmdal. And the solipsistic Man from Hjelmdal and the Hjelmdal Man.
Man from Hjelmdal and the Hjelmdal Man. Good God, how many are there?
Maybe 100. Man from Hjelmdal and the sages at the end of the world. Man from Hjelmdal and the false god.
Man
from
Hjelmdal and the scorched earth.
Man from Hjelmdal, the Hjelmdal colonies. Man from Hjelmdal and the swamp beast. Man from Hjelmdal and the snow crabs.
Is that all?
Not even close.
Oh no!
Man from Hjelmdal in hell. Man from Hjelmdal and
The forest of slaves.
Man from Hjelmdal
Under the lake.
Man from Hjelmdal, Hjelmdal burning. There's even The Trial of Death, a pastoral combat game book set in the world of Hjelmdalaman, and so much more.
Okay.
Don't make him.
Do any of these books call out to me?
A twinge at the back of your head makes you flinch. Your eye starts twitching.
Ow.
Your hand reaches toward a book with glossy cover art
Wait,
of the very
what?
muscular man from Hjelmdal.
Why did it hurt me?
In chains, kneeling in front of a staircase leading to a throne. A woman sits on the throne, leering at the man. She's laughing at him, belittling him.
Okay.
Between the throne and the Hjelmdalaman lies a bonfire, casting shadows on the wall.
You ever have a book that hurts
The
you?
shadow of the woman's
inflicts
headdress
psychic
looks
damage?
like a pair of devil horns. The title reads, Man from Hjelmdal and the Devil Woman.
Aren't all women devil women? Oh no. Storekeep, this book is misogynistic. How can you peddle such filth?
The entire series is also endearingly racist. if you
Okay.
Endearingly
Oh,
racist.
sirs, I know. This really isn't representative of our values, but the store has to cater to its customers.
The display rack before you is burdened under piles of Man from Hjelmdal novels.
Okay. Endearingly racist. What does that even mean? Gift books and molten candy. Old sports magazines tucked away in a dark corner. The book collects the national recipes of Arda. They're all about lake trout. What's behind the curtain?
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
Shopkeeper, what's behind the curtains?
Nothing. Now please go back to browsing the books. Don't you feel compelled to look at the books? The books are all you
Why'd you have to
care
make it
about.
weird?
She speaks almost as if she's trying to put a spell on you, urging you to buy more books. Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become.
Examine the strange cage-like... Well, maybe I should talk to her now. I'll talk to her first.
Welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People. My name is Plaisance.
Plaisance.
Be welcome, and please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space.
The energy.
A golden pendant hangs around the woman's neck, in the shape of what looks like a tiny fish head trapped in amber.
What? I'm not gonna beg her for money. A curious pendant you're wearing. Narrow your eyes mysteriously. So, are you the owner of this store?
I am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture.
Little shop of culture. Who's the little girl standing outside?
Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a proper girl?
Yes, of course.
Wonderful. Did you talk to her?
Yes.
Great. On a a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her?
Her opinion of her daughter depends on how well she lured you into the store.
I'm not going to grade a human being. I don't do that.
Come now, it's not personal. It's about proper sales practices and market research. I expect an answer.
10. She's certainly very polite and helpful.
My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as Mayonette.
I'm here to dismantle the free market and abolish child labor.
You must be kidding. There's nothing like that happening.
Depends. How much do you pay the kid?
Good sir. What does a young child do with money anyway? No, I save it for her, as a fund. She's securing her financial future out there.
You know, that's what my mom said she did too.
Such criminal behavior would not happen in more developed countries.
In more developed countries, this sort of thing is 2 felonies. Child labor and slavery.
Those countries will realise they've raised a lazy and spoiled generation. Are we done with the jokes now?
Yes, we've had quite enough fun here. Right.
Maybe, Kim. The way you're handling her strikes me as wrong.
Mind your own business, sir. In our society, people don't get to tell each other how to raise their children. It's none of your or anyone's business.
Denial is the way she copes with criticism.
Okay, let's change the
The
subject.
woman before you scans the store, her shoulders rigid and tense.
What if I want to
Every
buy a
now and
book?
then,
Goodness, you were already doing good, browsing the shelves. Why'd you stop? Don't you feel compelled?
Compelled?
Go!
You want
Get
to
back
buy
there.
the books.
The books await you.
So what types of books do you have?
Everything is on the shelves. Take a look yourself.
Damn.
The shelves compel you, don't they?
What the fuck is your problem?
she's attempting to mentally direct you towards the shelves. She only wants you to buy the goods. She doesn't care about the books.
Do you even know what books you have for sale?
Truth be told, not really. My sister brings in most of the goods. I'm sure it's all very literary stuff with well-written prose, but you don't learn about the important things in life from fabricated stories.
Wait, shouldn't a storekeeper know about her wares? Where do you learn about the important things then?
The truth is available if you just know where to look, and you have to open and free your mind to understand.
She nods at you cryptically. Alright, I'll take a look then.
She smiles and nods. See,
She's a weirdo.
these shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name Dick Mullen. over
Storekeep, what's all this
and
crime fiction?
Oh, crime, robberies, murders, even sexual crimes. We're fortunate to have Dick Mullen and his stories to sort all that out. You're a police officer, apparently. You should buy all of these.
I should buy all of them?
You do teach a person how to be a proper detective.
Look through the display of books.
Crime fiction is a disgrace. An asinine misrepresentation of the physical attributes of the arduous everyday work of actual police officers. These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to actually follow up on leads and eliminate dead ends. What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of year after year coming into contact with people during the worst
It's almost
days
like
of
being
their
a cop
lives.
sucks ass.
Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, would you like a
God,
list
if
of all
only
the
you
books
could just
found on the
quit.
shelf?
Sure thing.
You see Dick Mullen on the job.
Get me, Mullen.
The stalwart adventures of Richard P. Mullen.
The
Dick
stalwart.
Mullen and the murder in the orchard. The sordid affair of Dick Mullen. A killing is declared. Dick Mullen.
I thought
in
that
the
said Dick
murder
Mullen in the
house.
cock tower.
The final case of Dick Mullen. An obvious lie.
That would be good.
Dick Mullen in the
2
clock
penis
tower.
words in one
The
title.
ordeals of Dick Mullen. Dauntless Dick.
Dauntless.
Dick Mullen's funeral
Dauntless Dick.
party. The murder of Dick Mullen.
Dauntless Dick. Why isn't there an option for me to make a dick joke? Are there any more?
Yes, there's also The Dame Who Did It. Tragedy calls for Dick Mullen.
Dick
Another
Mullen, the
fake death.
murderer.
And, of course, Dick Mullen, the murderer. In order to catch a murderer, Dick Mullen must become the murderer.
Okay.
After all this, you still haven't found the answer to the one question that matters. Who is Dick Mullen?
Who is Dick Mullen?
Your attempt to grasp at the answer fails. It seems very close by.
I got no idea. Got no idea who Dick Mullen is. A quaint picture book brochure. Very colorful. It's a tome of fascist magic? Fascist magic. Fascist sorcery, if you will.
The plaque on the shelf reads, Biographies of Famous People. You see a large variety of names, none of which ring a bell.
Storekeep, anything of note on this shelf?
I would say The Greatest Innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's an important educational tool delving into the depths of history, religion, and their relation to innocentic power.
Who or what is an innocence?
A very influential historical figure. But surely I don't have to tell you that. You're a law officer, and law officers have at least some education. The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understandings of the innocentic system, creating a fresh vantage point and a shift in the tired order of things.
I thought it was about which of these innocences is the coolest and greatest.
Perhaps for a layman, deep analysis is
A
necessary
layman?
to unpack the multi-layered meanings.
Do her words seem vague and abstract to you?
So you recommend it?
Certainly. It's prudent for a person to have at least an elementary understanding of history.
You feel like you should get this one. Definitely. It's important somehow. There's something personal inside.
I'm just gonna leave. Everyone knows the most interesting thing about fascists was their magic.
Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins. The board has come loose from one corner. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez.
Look at the map of Revachol.
The north coast of a verdant island is shattered by the delta of a river. It is the River Esperance. Countless bridges put the shards back together, connecting city blocks to river islands. La Delta says a great artificial heart in the center, teeming with life forms and construction. To the east, rolling hillsides, Le Jardin, Stella Marie, the suburbs of Saint-Baptiste, swallowed up into the megacity. They sound rich to you. This is Revachol East.
And west of the river?
Houdon, it's somewhere to live. Not bad. Then there's Jamrock. It's bad. People shouldn't live there, but they do. Then Forberg. It's almost as bad, and much larger. Then Coal City. It's the worst. You feel you're just west of Coal City, somewhere above Jamrock and close to Coal City.
Look at the map of Insulind.
This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots on the light blue emptiness of the Insulindic Ocean. The largest in the northeast is La Caillou. You are here. Another far away in the southwest, Seminese Islands, Ile de Fantôme, Ozon, Laurentide, Face à la Mer,
So we're in
Archipelagos,
Le Caillou?
North Arcade Islands.
Caillou!
All just specks of dust on the vastness of the Insulindic. On the edges of the map, the color fades into a blur of dotted lines, black and white, disintegrating into mathematics. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou in a bookstore. It's you.
Okay. Squint first. Can you see cities on the islands?
You can on Caillou, Revachol, a single black star. On Ozon, Fondelier, lost little pearls of light, tiny fires in the dark. 850 million people live on these little dots, an oceanic world of culture and commerce torn apart by history. The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Windy is the north azimuth. Grad is the northeast azimuth. Samara is the east azimuth. Seol is the west azimuth.
The language in this game
Isolas,
is interesting.
they're called. Connections to other worlds, words past the Insulindian, unknown to you. You only know you've never been there. You have little idea what they are. Distant stars, gods, but looking at them makes you
Impossible.
feel almost
Interesting.
non-existent. Whatever they are, the Isolas are immeasurably large compared to you.
Are those
and
planets?
Very, very far away. Perhaps they are gods. Gods of distance and outer dust.
Look at the map of Martinez.
It's not really a map. It's a tourist thing. A picture postcard with buildings on it, drawn from an isometric perspective. A date in the upper right corner says 48. Still, it's detailed. Could be pretty useful for scouting ahead. You see the jagged boxes of an industrial harbor, even the whirling in rags there.
Storekeep, can I buy these maps?
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore. And besides, you could scarcely afford them. They're quite valuable, though they might not look it.
90
The map
cents.
of Martinez is 90 cents, though.
Why is the one of Martinez so cheap?
That old thing. It's an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never was nor came to be. From when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago. They also renovated the horse statue, set up those coin-operated viewers, and designed the new street lamps.
The place does not look like a successful tourist trap, does it?
What happened then?
They didn't get that far. For some reason. A shame. The project
Steal
never
it.
got going.
Okay.
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also a wide range of paranatural literature.
Look through the shelf.
Amidst the various books, you find one written by someone named Matthias W. Dundas. It's about
Dundas.
wholeness, unity, balance. These three things are very important to the working class mind.
Are they?
The point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice in situations where they don't have access to paid
Interesting.
health services. It serves platitudes, while also telling everyone that traditional medicine, the kind people don't have access to, and which costs more than this book, is garbage, and would only give you cancer anyway, without even curing your cold or anything. Wholeness, unity, balance.
Not
on
sure
the
how to
other
feel
hand,
about it.
Can basically take care of anything. Though it is important to note, when it's up to your mind to heal yourself, then it's because of your mind that you're ill in the first place.
Does the book say anything else?
The book features chapters on topics such as how to find magnesium. It even lists
How
plants
to
you can harvest
continue
magnesium
drinking.
from. How to continue drinking if you're an alcoholic who has destroyed his liver.
Oh, jeez.
And there's even a chapter on the ancient Seraïs tradition of using duck gallbladder preservatives to treat and prevent sexually transmitted diseases. Pre and post factum apply. Nothing worth buying. This is just mundane garbage. What's even paranatural about this?
Find something truly otherworldly.
The throbbing in your head increases with every passing moment you gaze at this shelf. Suddenly, as if out of nowhere, a small green book becomes apparent. The title of it reads, Medicinal Purposes of the Pale.
What's the pale?
The book contains very little explanation on the matter. This knowledge seems to be taken for granted.
What's this book about?
The book contains descriptions of various pseudoscientific therapies, alternative medicines, and folk remedies involving the pale, also known as le territoire. For example, it recommends vigorously swatting one's naked body with a venik or hand broom, made from the leafy twigs of a young birch tree from the near pale.
Sounds painful.
It is supposedly invigorating and good for the circulation.
What else?
It also recommends consuming distilled spirits like vodka or whiskey that have been aged in the pale. Readers are instructed to cover these jars in a shallow hole just inside the pale and leave them there for 30 to 60
What's
days,
the pale?
depending on the potency
Is it
desired.
like a tree? And what does this pale-aged liquor do?
Among other benefits, it is alleged to restore a damaged liver to perfect health.
Drink alcohol to heal your liver. Of course.
That seems improbable.
I should probably get my hands on some of that. What else is in there? How is that possible?
Is it any more improbable than anything else that human beings put their faith in?
Fair enough. What else is in there?
For general health and well-being, readers are encouraged to take regular strolls through the Pale. Though
Is it like a
sidebar
forest?
cautions readers to limit each stroll to less than an hour. These strolls promise to cleanse the mind of worries and the body of toxins, especially if the perambulator performs this ritual in the nude. Nudity figures prominently in a number of these prescriptions. This is exactly what you need.
Huh. Anything else of note?
There's an entire section devoted to cures for men who are struggling to perform their marital obligations.
Well, I certainly don't need that.
You close the book and return it to its place on the shelf.
Storekeep, what books are these?
Sir, please, no browsing in that shelf. That wisdom is not for free. I can't have you end up, like, opening a police store next door and stealing my customers. Oh no!
Oh boy. Okay. Another boring book just discarded here. So it doesn't look like there's anything else, really. Let's just open this curtain.
You see a tattered set of curtains. You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straw. This is a traditional Seminese ward, meant to provide protection against ill luck, bad dreams, curses, and other supernatural scourges.
And who are the Seminese?
Inhabitants of Ile de Fantôme, the Seminine Islands down south. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fishhead charm at this
Pull
time.
them open.
Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shop owner cries out one.
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers.
Oh.
Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences.
What?
It's too dangerous.
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
But I sense this place is calling for me. I must investigate beyond the threshold.
You do? My God, even more reasons not to mess with the curtains. Just step away, dear sir.
I don't care. You can't stop me. I'll open
No!
them.
Please just talk to me, officer. Come here and let's talk this through before you decide to do anything extreme.
Talking is always good. Go see what she... There is something mysterious about the curtains. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you.
Okay, let's go to let's see what she's got to say. What do you got to say about your curtain, lady?
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Why are you so uptight about those curtains? I just want to know what's on the other side.
I already told you, it's just a storage room for employees. I don't understand why it's so important to you. Just let it go, officer. Go buy some goddamn books. You're supposed to be drawn to the books.
If it's just a storage room, why does it have a Seminese ward protecting it?
It's just for decoration.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, fine. It's just because this place is cursed, just like everyone said. They don't call it the doomed commercial area for nothing. Are you happy now, officer? Happy that you've ruined everything?
How does this curse manifest itself?
The curse is so much worse than you could imagine. It's a disease, eating at the very foundation.
A shiver runs through the woman as she looks around the dimly lit store.
It's the curse of financial distress, of ruin and bankruptcy.
Didn't that curtain just move?
Baby Yoda makeup palette. Amazing. Okay, I'm a little confused. What does that mean? Wait, that's it? I was hoping for something more paranatural.
But officer, there's nothing natural about entire companies declaring bankruptcy. I'm talking about cacodemons feeding off bad business practices and disappointing income statements. There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I arrived, I've sensed an eerie lingering presence, as if I was unwanted here.
You don't say.
Sounds familiar.
Strange. I feel unwanted too. What does it mean?
Truly so? Perhaps the dark energies are leeching off.
Dark energies.
You shouldn't stay in the store too long. It may be dangerous.
Doomed commercial area sounds like the worst nightmare of a small business owner. Doomed commercial area. Why didn't you just tell me right away it's the curse? Would you like me to take the case? I could investigate to see if the curse is real.
It's not good to talk about the curse, not in detail. The negativism, it's dangerous. Talking about the void wraiths angers them.
The void wraiths.
Wow. Void raves. You have new words.
Have you sought help from anyone?
Yes, I've contacted numerous parapsychologists and even a pair of Simonese mediators. They provided me with the wards. The wards help to keep the doom at bay and protect us against the darkness that lies further in the building. Even though now I fear, it's not enough.
Is your pendant part of the wards as well?
Oh, this? No, it's a special Himian amulet, blessed by desert pygmy shamans, with a spell of compulsion. It's to compel people to buy books. There are numerous spells cast throughout the store. I had the books anointed with a different inducement spell, for example. It's guaranteed to boost sales 15%.
Okay.
Desert pygmy shamans. That sounds like a rather questionable way to describe a group of people.
Would you like me to take the case? I could investigate, see if the curse is real.
Most certainly not. I don't want anyone who's not familiar with the psychic arts to get involved in this mess. Stay away. Leave the spirits be.
My liege, you know what this case calls for? A para-detective.
Convince her to let you investigate the Doom commercial area.
Time to
Damn
fire up the old lie machine.
Ma'am, I am a renowned private investigator, a paragon of law, and a specialist in all things criminal.
And I am his private partner, John Shaw. Together we run the preeminent postal surveillance firm in Rivet.
Shao is what the Saolite Empire was called in the Occident, back when far less was known.
She has big
about
crystal
the people.
MLM mom
It
energy.
was a barbarian other, ever so mystical, on whom you could project any kind of exotic fantasy. The legend of it persists, and a lot of people still think the Shao is a thing.
We are truly private in our partnership. Oh, but wait, there's more. Hold on. We are truly private.
Once we've caught our client's spouse in flagrant
Hey, how's it going,
delicto,
Barely?
we blackmail them and pocket the money ourselves, because that's what private investigators do. Now, I see that you are a married woman.
Some penetrating sarcasm from your colleague there.
What nonsense are you two going on about? This is not relevant at all. And besides, my husband would never do such a thing. We are proper people.
Proper! You shouldn't be so trusting of your husband. Men are filthy, treacherous pigs. Mind your manners, John. This isn't the great Shao Empire where you can talk about sex stuff so openly. Alright, enough nonsense. The point is that we sometimes take on unusual cases.
This is preposterous. A waste of my...
Our sincere apologies, ma'am. No more nonsense. We are offering to assist you with your troubles. Pro bono.
That's right, and all you have to do is give us the key to the back door. It's a good offer, ma'am. I urge you to accept our help. It may be the only chance to save your business.
That's right. When not spying on the love affairs of the ultra-rich, we solve unusual mysteries by the low reload.
What better way than to ask us?
Oh my god! Will you stop with that incessant
Oh my
yammering? It's
god!
too much. If you wanted the key to the back door, you could have just asked for it.
Fine, I'll ask for it. Can we have the key?
Absolutely not.
Bitch. Ugh!
That's for the. No!
Damn. Bye. Ugh. Kim. Kim, you were supposed to help me out. Okay. Kim tried his best. I think we can go into the kitchen now. I think it's past the time. Like, I think it was 1300 that we had to go in. Don't be afraid to say weird things. People are more forgiving to persons of power. Damn. The dishes are drying. They smell of chemicals and pine trees. Come back when you have skill point. You can reset the check, yeah. An aroma of spices, alcohol, and tomato hangs in the air.
A thin man is smoking below an exhaust hood, occasionally sipping from his mug. This must be the Whirling's cook. As you step in, he nods toward the table and says something in a completely foreign language. The only words you can make out are Garancy and Kubek. Okay, it's definitely not his name. Whatever you do, please don't call him Garancy Kubek. Please. It's not funny.
Hello, sir. Got time for a few questions?
The man puts his cup down and replies something, his left hand drawing arcs in the air.
You've got some impressive pots there.
He smiles and bangs his ladle against each of his pots in turn.
Yeah, they're good pots.
It's almost like music, especially with the sounds of assorted dishes boiling and simmering on the stove.
I don't think I need anything else. Stay masculine. Stay masculine.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue. You immediately feel drawn to the color. Blue is for mystery.
I wonder where this door leads.
You do? It's a door in the back of the kitchen. Why do you care where it leads?
It's part of the whirling in rags. Out of duty, we may find something pertinent to the investigation. Sure, why not?
Yes, I suppose it's worth seeing if we can get in. Just to be thorough. As a side investigation.
No, the door is a mega investigation. The door and the main investigation will merge into a stereo investigation.
If you say so. Gart is the person to ask about this. The cafeteria manager.
Okay, let's go check out this back door.
Can I help you? Another thing. Great.
There's a mysterious
I love
blue
those.
steel door in the back of the kitchen.
Oh, yes, that door, sure. There's nothing mysterious about it. It's just a door.
Do you know what's behind it? Do you have...
No, I don't have a key. I don't know how to get there. And I don't care either. It's not like I've been wondering about it for 10 years. It's just a frit warehouse, probably. Or some boring storage space with a bunch of old junk and dust. Junk and dust.
But I like junk and dust.
He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolutely not convincing.
I think you'd like to know what's back there.
Fine, okay, a little. But my job doesn't leave me time for wondering about one locked door in one of the cafeterias I manage. So I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100 times over, though, after the animals. And I haven't found a key, so good luck, yes?
And there's a key. Sleeping dock worker. A man is sleeping at the table wearing mud-caked boots and rolled-down overalls. The back of his shirt reads Wild Pines.
On the counter, rolled out of his open hand, you see a blister pack of headache medicine.
Pick up the pills.
The man does not mind. You probably need them more than he does.
Give me that. A bottle of rum has been knocked over. Beautiful dark liquid is spilling out. Who is you? It's all about money, you know. It's all about money. Okay, I need to get more money before it gets dark. Okay, let's see what else we got around here. Interesting. A bold slogan, Humanox. That's certainly interesting. An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if it's been reassembled piece by piece, secured and mounted in the air with the aid of numerous ropes and rods. Who is this? A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, I am Philippa III, the Squanderer, the greatest of the Philippian kings of Revachol, son of Philip Philip II, the opulent, father of Philip IV, the insane.
Not a good track record of mental health in that family.
What did this king do?
What did he do?
Damn.
You have no idea what you did a week ago. How would you know what this guy did many centuries ago?
Thanks.
High above you, the king stands triumphantly oblivious to your memory trouble.
Okay, what's in here? A white tank top. Ruins full of snow, no one lives here anymore. Money.
The small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on her radio. A photograph is clutched in her hands, and there is a warm smile on her face. The photo, an ambrotype from the turn of the century.
An
As
ambrotype?
golden as her smile. It's the warmth of a winter night's fire. Maybe she could give you comfort and shelter.
Grandma?
Some cigarettes and food money. Maybe
Excuse me,
she's
ma'am.
your-
I'd like to ask some questions.
No response. Wherever this woman is, your words fail to reach her.
Grandma?
Nothing. Her smile just keeps widening. Her hair is gray like lead.
Okay, I'll just walk away then. Leave her to her peaceful music. Okay. Lovely. A foreign car kept in good condition. The lorries probably stored fuel here. Now they store booze.
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy Grad-made machine is well kept for such an old machine.
Look in the window.
The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin with personal belongings, stickers, insignia.
What kind of stickers and insignia?
The driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar paraphernalia. Proclamations about honor, strength, and purity are glued to various panels.
What about the back seat?
The back end of the cabin has a small perch to sleep, large ashtrays. There are several suns and wheels sewn into the curtains. A book with ragged edges catches your notice. The front cover features a large
Man
muscular
from
man.
Hjelmdal.
The title reads, Man from Hjelmdal.
Racist nationalist paraphernalia.
Yeah.
Not unusual in this part of town. This is our guy.
You think this lorry belongs to our tough guy?
Likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is. Drapes it all over his machine.
Okay. What do we got going on here?
Bastards! We have a right to work!
Yeah, purity. Yeah, it is racism. Yeah, purity is a red flag word for me, for sure. The man yells towards the harbor gates. His voice is the loudest of the lot and oddly screechy for a man his size. Yeah, I was kind of surprised a little bit. What's going on here?
Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here.
The broad-shouldered alpha male turns to you. He's a full head taller than anyone else here.
You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down.
Why should I?
We're here to fight for a cause. Stripes usually have problems with people who have causes.
Heh, ACAB, bro. Okay, then I'm thinking no.
Good. We're fighting for a cause here.
Right to work!
Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Builds confidence.
I don't think I've chosen any sides yet.
Might be time. Don't let the fat bastards tread on you. Cops tend to side with the higher-ups. Sure as I don't trust cops, but I can see you understand the
Right to
I'm not
work!
like the other cops. Ooh,
Right
I
to
like labor
work!
rights. Ooh. Ah, scabs. What kind of cause are we talking about?
rights of people, rights of workers, to have gainful employment, to make a salary, and feed their families.
His manner of speaking is wooden, the tone of voice bland and uninspired. almost as if compiling replies from a set of learned.
Oh, reminder not to get McDonald's this week. They're striking. Nice. Good to know. Regardless, I have some questions
Maybe
for
you
you.
should ask them the questions. Like, why we're not allowed to make a living here. We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
So do we, Scott.
Who are all these strike breakers? I've been all right, barely. Oh, and yeah, I almost forgot about that.
Honest men and women with rights to work, to be useful, not toys for corporate interests.
The man runs a hand through his steadily graying military
We
haircut.
came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If union fucks don't want work, they ought to let in those who do want work.
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your leadership?
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market, the rules of the economy, because they were.
Given a job to do!
What exactly is your goal here?
We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates.
Is this... This is weird. Interesting. And you were unable to breach the entrance?
Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. Could try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. The guard's blocking the way to the access panel. And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Or whatever
Wait,
he is.
head measurer?
Huge Seminese guy standing up there on the overhead passage. Won't let anyone by. The access panel is right behind him.
Something tells me this dude isn't just excited to break strikes. Yeah, right? How bad could one guy be? You seem capable.
Bad. Standing on a narrow bridge, he's got a strategically advantageous position. And he's trained. I don't know how the Union has a trained killer up there. But that one's no joke. And my men are tired and hungry. They're workers, not fighters.
Why don't you just talk to them?
Like civilized folk, you mean? These native fucks don't understand civilized.
Ooh.
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now, if you can't get in anyway.
No! They will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Leave the button unguarded. Then we charge.
What is a strike?
When a bunch of ungrateful, lazy
Wow.
cockroaches can't get their act together, decide to block honest work for other people.
What do the strikers want?
Beats me. They mumble nonsense about boardrooms and workers' rights, while we have.
There's something odd in the way he carries himself. His set of clothing looks vaguely mismatched. The different pieces of the attire seem ill-fitting.
Ill-fitting? What does it mean?
His shirt is far too small and an unpleasantly tight fit, while the overalls, held up by a belt, seem to fit a man with much more corpulence.
You wearing new clothes?
He ignores your question, choosing instead to turn to the emaciated workers, raising both fists in the air. The clothes are obviously silence is the answer. There's something off here. You've been talking to him for quite a while now. Something is off with this guy. Ask him where he's from.
Okay, I gotta ask, where exactly are you from?
What's it to you?
Curiosity. Going to figure out the strike mess. Thought you looked real familiar.
No. Don't think we've met before. I came to help out
The people.
people.
Already got that. I'm interested in your background.
We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain, in Jamrock. Backgrounds in odd jobs, heavy lifting, cargo hauling, bouncer work.
A bouncer? Where? I frequent a lot of bars. Maybe it's one I know.
Worked at Territorial. Ring a bell?
Not right now, but I might have been there. I don't really remember things well.
Uh-huh. It was a long time ago.
I want to get into the harbor too.
Have fun. Union shits are on full strike. Don't think they're going to let you through the gates. You trying to meet their fat boss?
I'm interviewing people about a murder that took place here behind the hostel cafeteria there.
I know nothing about a murder.
The mention of a killing sends a barely noticeable shiver of tenseness through me.
Why so tense?
What are you talking about? I'm not tense.
Yes, he's tense.
Right to work!
It's shameful. Cops doing nothing. You should bring backup. Open up the gates for us. Blockading gainful employment for workers is a crime.
This really isn't my area of expertise.
We are not picking a side in this just yet, sir.
Pity.
Let up!
Well, interesting. Let's see what else we got around here.
Scab?
Scap, call me manana.
You're hazy on the notion of a scab. Smells like politics, though. Maybe it's got something to do with the flask he reaches for from time to time.
What exactly is a scab?
A kind of a worm, content with mere survival. They come, they want to do our job for shittier pay, screwing over both themselves and us. Everybody loses.
Hold on, where did they all come from?
Beats me. Somewhere in the ground, I think.
Oh, jeez. You don't seem to like them much.
Gotta be bloody stupid or freaking evil to scab. Or I guess scared, maybe. But scared of what? Of who?
He looks at the mask, squinting his eyes as if trying to ascertain what they're scared of.
Personally, I'd rather beg than scab. If the gentleman shouting on the street came begging, maybe they'd have gotten something.
Have you tried talking to them?
We've explained the matters, but they don't listen. This lot would be reasonable and go home if the big guy wasn't riling them up all the time.
Big guy. He means the leader of the scabs.
I'm not a scab, I'm a cop.
I was just messing with you. No one's ever seen a cop scab. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, let us cop for less money. Speaking of, what brings the RCM here? To the wild north? Come to see the strife?
I've come to Martinez investigating a murder.
Murder, huh? That sounds like a lot of hard work. You'd never see me investigating a murder.
Maybe you want to help me solve it by telling me who did it? You're right, it's almost impossible. I'm 91% sure I'll never get it solved.
Probably not. I wouldn't even know where to start with that. Much better here at the harbor, for an honest union man like me.
I need to know what's behind these gates. I'm exploring.
My friend, I respect the right to roam. The open range awaits.
Does this mean you can let me through the gate?
I don't operate in that capacity. I'm not a granter of passage. The passage grants itself.
Beneath the jolliness, he suddenly seems doubtful. If it's so simple, why did the scab leader warn you of the guards blocking the way?
That's simple. I just walk in.
Aye. Walk right past Measurehead and go in. Yeah, the 2.5 meter tall Semini supremacist there. Walk right past him.
Okay.
Then press the button to unlock the door. Then go past him again, and you enter the arbor through the office. Está.
So you're saying it's actually quite difficult.
Don't worry, I'm sure it's not completely impossible. For example, you could best measure head in a physical confrontation, or you could convert to a Semini supremacist worldview. Or, maybe it actually is completely impossible.
Has any of the scabs tried converting to his worldview?
Jean-Luc himself would say the philosophy has proven overly heroic for the scabs to convert to. Not enough intuition.
Has anyone here ever bested him in a physical confrontation?
Not yet, no. He's incredibly strong.
Got it. Another thing.
Sure.
What's the strike about anyway?
You know, serious business. I'm sure the big boss will be glad to tell you. You'll have to ask him first.
He's a chatty guy. Wants to talk about the strike. Return once you've met the union boss and are on a better footing.
Okay, I feel like I need to do something else first. Hopefully that store isn't closed. Okay, let's turn our bottles into money. Is that girl still working here? Damn, working all day.
The tear machine stands in the corner. Your bottles clunk into the machine, and you're 100% sure you got special hobocop money for that tear. At least 100% extra tear money. If the numbers on the machine told you otherwise,
Well, I still only have 7. So maybe I won't have enough. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make money from these bottles, but no. Okay, maybe there's bottles in here. Magnesium in the trash? Okay, maybe this apartment building?
An old called East Delta Commerce, an off-key melody.
Kuno, please stop calling here. Grown-ups don't have time for your stupid game.
She thinks you're the gremlin child. What would he say to this?
Try to impersonate Kuno. Fuck off, pig. I'm Kuno. I don't give a shit. Let me in.
Pardon? This is not Kuno. Please just stop calling here.
A single beep. You ring the door. What an ominous name for a hair salon. Doesn't bode well for anyone's hair.
Andro Orlando.
All you hear is static, but no one answers the call. You ring the doorbell, but nothing happens. You wait for a minute or two, but all you get from the call box looks like someone has melted half the plastic off with a... You hear static from the intercom speaker. It sounds as if someone has picked up the receiver, but isn't saying anything.
Hello, is anyone there?
Yes, hello. This is Tricentennial Electric. Have you come to place an order?
She sounds almost antique, as if her voice was being played off an old...
Since you got the
white
volumetric
cylinder,
shit compressor, you should be able to take down the
receiver
body.
must not be working
Okay,
properly.
I'll do that next. Hold on, Tricentennial Electrics. I thought I was calling Slipstream SCA.
My God.
The lieutenant exchanges a look with you.
Sorry?
It's you. My God. I didn't think I would hear your voice.
Who cares that you don't remember her? Just go along with it. No, something's wrong here. Are you sure she's talking to you?
Do we know each other?
Michelle, just please. Why
Ew.
did you even call? I don't understand. You've been gone for months. I thought you didn't care.
Of course I care. It's just that I've been going through some tough time.
Ever since I came to work here, it's been different. As if my mind's been wiped.
A spot of static overrides her words. When she speaks again, it sounds like she's submerged.
It's so nice. It's so nice to be able to finally forget.
Forget about what?
She sounds like she's about to cry.
Hello?
She doesn't answer.
You said it was nice. What's so nice about forgetting?
Silence. The only thing you can hear
Jesus.
now is static and waves washing ashore on the bay.
What just happened?
Another seagull passes by.
I don't know what happened either. We should probably stop playing with this.
Alright, it's goodbye then.
You press the number sign on the silence. No one's home at Fortress Accident.
Slipstream SCA.
Whatever she
Ooh.
says, it can't hurt you. You're a different person now. Stronger. All right. Maybe not healthier, but it's a bonus that you've drunk so hard you can't remember any of your past relationships.
Call her again.
There's a light buzz as you press the doorbell, waiting for her to answer the...
Yes, hello. This is Tricentennial Electric. Have you come to place an order?
Last time we talked, there was some confusion. You got me mixed up with someone else.
My God.
Here come the bad vibes again. Relax.
Bad vibes.
Distance yourself from it.
Please don't hang up. I just want to explain myself.
It's you.
Oh, it's a recording.
Wait. Is she...
Wait, are you repeating your words?
Michelle, just please. Why did you even call?
Is this some kind of joke?
It doesn't matter what I say, you're just going to continue, right?
The voice from the intercom doesn't answer, but you can hear her breathing. Wind blows into your microphone again, crackling and echoing
Is it over? Can we talk now?
Ever since I came to
Oh
work
no.
here, as if my mind's been wiped clean.
Say nothing.
It's so nice. It's so nice to be able to finally forget about you.
And then it hits you.
You're a recording.
She tries again not to cry, and still doesn't succeed completely. Her quiet sobs sound old and distant. Real or not, your mirror neurons react. It feels painful to be listening to this.
Why does it still feel like it's my fault? Go ahead, ancient recording. Cry then.
Her sound melts into the static from a long-distance phone call. From time to time, you could. This is where you hung up the call the last time. But the recording.
Let's keep
the
listening.
phone rings in the office with an old-fashioned chime, and someone walks by in a pair of heels. The static is like a warm blanket wrapped around the sounds.
Is anyone there?
No one replies, but the static grows stronger, like rainfall. Then a female voice speaks out, completely different from the one before. Glorious and total somehow. Her words are too cold to comprehend. She smells of sodium lights and rain streaks on car windows. Eyes like pilot lights watch your shape in dark hallways, guttering.
So... it was a recording trapped in the circuitry from some ancient tenant. This sometimes happens. Shall we conclude
Recordings
here?
just randomly
We have other
get
mysteries
caught
to
in
solve.
circuitry? Wait, a recording trapped in the circuitry?
I don't have time to explain it to you right now. Maybe sometime later.
Something weird just happened to me.
Don't take this the wrong way, but during our short stint working together...
Source, trust me,
something
bro.
weird
I don't
is
got time to
almost
talk to you.
always-
That is true. Silence. No one answers the doorbell. Nothing happens after you ring the doorbell. They don't want to talk to you. Silence. No one. This button looks new, but someone has removed the name card.
Huh. This button looks new. It's probably not connected yet.
Okay, let's go take that down, I guess. Gonna take down a body, gonna take down a body.
There he still is, looking right through you.
Shit, compressed.
With his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that. As you breathe in, the odor comes over you. It's a smell of the mind telling you to run, and your stomach to wring itself empty. With your hands at your sides and your eyes squinting, you stand in it.
Do they always do that?
They do after 7 days, yes. We are deep in decomposition here.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enameled boots. His skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins, and blotched by lividity. A fading web of tattoos covers his chest and shoulders. The cargo belt used to fasten him to the branch above appears industrial in strength.
Inspect the boots.
The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore thick polymer socks, probably for padding. A fine array of interlocking plates, cut delicate and fragile. They feel alien to the world around you. These are clearly not boots. They're armor.
These aren't just
possibly
boots,
part
are they?
of a
This is the
larger
armor
set.
he was stripped of.
Indeed. Technically speaking, these are sabatons, not boots.
Sabatons? What kind of armor is this exactly?
Ceramic plate. Zirconium dioxide, most likely. This is where the make would be.
Where?
Under the heel. Fair weather. Fair weather model T500 VE.
Oh shit.
I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff.
Where's the rest of it? Scavenged by the locals?
Piece by piece. He's been out here for 7 days. It would be odd if they
Surprising
didn't.
nobody's took the boots.
We should keep a lookout for these species. The armor could yield information. This is one thing he might actually know.
Maybe he was just wearing those boots and there is no rest of the armor?
No, I think he had something precious underneath the clothes. They had to remove the jeans and shirts we found to get to it. And this kind of armor is often worn under fabrics.
Nice. That makes sense.
He could have been walking around naked, just like, what if they told him to strip before they hung him?
They usually hang them completely naked for that. La puta madre, the Mazda, the Besmerties, and the like.
Fucking talking about underpants.
Shut the fuck up, Kuno.
Clearly, Kuno would like to interject something here, but there's not enough for him to hold on to.
The material looks out of place here.
It is. It's expensive. We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabularies deemed it too costly. In that time, we've lost 6 men to semi-automatics.
How much are we talking about?
For a full set, about 4 years of wages.
Oh shit.
For the northwest region of Revachol, an officer's average yearly income is 5,500 real, unadjusted.
Ka-ching, baby! Well, wait, my yearly pay is 5,500 real?
Not too much, yes.
Sounds puny. No wonder I can't pay my hostel bill.
It's a sorry situation, I agree.
How could this man afford such expensive hardware?
That's for us to find out. My initial report on the area suggests he was a security guard for the harbor company. But that's just hearsay.
These look pretty advanced for a security guard.
I agree. This equipment is way beyond what a guard can afford.
Pull the boot off.
This feels dangerous. Are you sure?
Grab the
The
boot.
stench fills your nostrils as you push downward, an ominous creaking sound.
Stop! Pig's gonna pull his head off.
Brutal!
Lieutenant, you seem distressed. Why?
You're about to pull his head off.
Do it, homo!
I'm not... Do what?
Pull his head off. There's no point performing an autopsy if you do. We'll have compromised the coroner's case.
Fair enough.
Indeed, from this angle, it does look like the neck isn't going to take much more. Being dead for a week has all but liquefied his muscles.
What are you trying to achieve anyway? Why are you hanging on to that boot?
These boots would go super well with my bell-bottom pants. This is advanced enemy technology. Are we not detectives? Are we not...
Maybe we should concentrate on what's outside the boot and leave what's inside to the boys at processing? Just this once. Besides, there's no way you're getting them off. All the organic matter in his body has been flown down into the boots. They are fused to his feet now.
You're sure there's a way to peel them off, but first the body needs to be down. And second, it would probably be better if the lieutenant wasn't around.
Sounds like a plan.
The anticipation makes you crack your fingers. Feels nice.
Nice and cracky.
Nice and cracky.
What's going to happen to the boots then?
Processing will take care of them. With the situation in the morgue, it will yield nothing. But we must pick our fights. Should we continue?
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos.
Inspect
And
the
the
belt.
hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. Above, a sliding buckle ties the belt to the branch. This is a steel-reinforced cargo lashing belt, big brother of the regular cargo belt. It's used for tying cargo under 6-rotor airships.
They have airships? Why don't we have airships? I feel like that's a thing that we should have. I know there are hovercraft. You can sometimes see if you're around the right military base at the right time, you can sometimes see them testing them out in Cali. Don't ask me how I know, but this is a lashing belt used for airlifting cargo.
Airlifting? I thought it was used on lorries.
I want rocket
Strapping
shoes.
cargo to them.
Then again, what do I know? I don't even know what an airship is. Apparently this is the reinforced kind for air transport. My brain tells me so. I think their airships are just blimps, maybe. Yeah, that's true. Blimps would be an airship, technically. Why walk when you can glide along like a specter?
The local harbor uses 6 rotors to shuffle containers around. I get the sense they use whatever was on hand, without paying much attention to not incriminating themselves.
We're assuming dock workers from the harbor did it? They sure wanted him to stay up there. The rope is reinforced with steel wiring.
I was afraid it would be. Thin steel wiring, parallel strands. This makes getting him down more problematic than I had assumed.
We're assuming dock workers from the harbor did it?
I'm still approaching this as a lynching, yes. Motivated by the ongoing strike. You?
Yeah, how's it going, Woeful Potatoes? And also a greeting to all 6 of my viewers currently. Hi, how's it going? I know I've been kind of focusing in on this, but if you guys want to chat at all, feel free. I usually respond, so. I'm just sitting here chilling, playing through the game, so. But yeah, if you guys like my content, I would very much appreciate any follows if you sit around with me long enough and end up liking me, you know?
No. You feel like it was something else. But what?
Feel like it was something else. Don't ask me, I'm just lumbering from one moment to the next.
Yes, it often is. This bell worries me.
How did they even get him up there?
A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around.
Did they climb up using the kid's ladder?
That ladder can't carry a grown man. I didn't see any splintering either, did you? I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the bell to close the buckle.
Opinion potatoes are the best starch. I guess I don't really think too much about what other starches are. Like, if you tell me something is a starch, I'm probably going to either think of cornstarch or I'm going to think of a potato. So, but I do like potatoes. Potatoes are great. I can make some banging mashed potatoes. They're actually my least favorite. Really? Interesting. I've never really met somebody that doesn't like potatoes. But I mean, it would make sense. There's a lot of cheap shit that's made out of potatoes. Is that why you're so woeful?
Could be. The shape of the branch supports the theory. The cadaver hangs from the cargo belt.
They're okay, but if I had to choose bread, rice, and noodles, yes,
in tattoos.
Bread is great. I love rice. If it's done well. And noodles are great. Yeah, I do love pasta. I'm not a big fan of like soupy sauces. I like sauces that cover the pasta, like they stick to the outsides of it instead of it like swimming in sauce, you know? So I really like pesto. Basically like any sauce that coats instead of is just liquid, you know? But I love rice and I love Asian food. A lot of how I cook is influenced by what I like in my Asian food.
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart.
That seems like a cool tattoo.
His corpse is marked by stars.
What will mine be marked by?
Alcohol and heartbreak.
Is this a microelectronic system?
I have only a cursive knowledge of the science of cybernetics. I would not know if it were. But it's not quite complex enough, is it?
We're missing something here.
I agree.
He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed. A small lens appears. Some sort of camera.
What's that?
A Trigger Sunshine Mini.
Trigger is the world's leading manufacturer of intercommunication devices, primarily projectors. The camera before you looks familiar somehow.
Shit, Kuno! What the fuck is that?
An instant color camera.
He produces 2 metal-capped ampoules and clicks them into place on the side of the apparatus. A thin slot shines there.
I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
He points the camera at the corpse, peering into it. The lens needs adjusting. Then
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy piece of paper, rolling out.
in case we need it.
Interesting. The lieutenant says and shakes the paper, letting it dry in the cold wind. On it, a color-perfect copy of the dead man's tattooed chest. Cool machine.
Yes, it is pretty cool, isn't it?
What do we need this photo for?
It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter to us. Someone should decipher it. We'll need to show it around.
Can I have it? I should look at it later without the corpse smell.
Sure. Just don't lose it.
He hands you the piece of rolled-up photo paper. It's no longer larger than a pack of cigarettes.
The glassy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth mute, and his skin as his eyes are milky white and blind to the world, protruding comically from their sockets.
Ew.
Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. Underneath the curdled meat there is an expression, not carried on his features, but below, inside, an expression of pleasure. This man was experiencing joy at the moment of his death.
Tell me, who are you, dead man?
I'm gone.
I can see you're gone, but who are you?
I'm a joke. Look at me.
You are now, but who were you when you were alive? Oh, there's nothing funny about you, yeah?
There is nothing funny about jokes either.
Who were you when you were alive?
A killer. A motherfucker. And a killer.
I have another question for you.
Go ahead, Kobo.
Kobo? Where have you gone?
Into the wild pale yonder.
Where is that?
In the past. Way out west.
What is happening?
What do you mean?
I'm talking to you.
It's the power of your imagination.
Imagination.
Yeah, man! Don't be crazy! Inanimate objects and dead people can't really talk to you. Your wild imagination is doing this. Ask some more of those questions you love so much.
He loves those.
Why do I love questions so much?
Because you're a copperoony. Look at all of them go. Do you want more questions?
Give me a comical amount of questions.
Coming right up, Copperoony Rooney. This is getting upbeat now.
Is my name Rooney?
Fuck no. You're no Rooney.
I do strike myself as a Rooney.
No, you don't. Between you and me, your name is probably Harry.
Why do I feel like I've forgotten something terrible?
Because you have.
Who killed you?
Love did me in, brother Kobo. It was love all along.
Of course. Can you ask me a question?
Sure, Lobo. I can ask you a question. Why are you doing this?
What?
Looking at my face. Motionless. Looking into my eyes. Standing here. Why are you investigating my murder?
Maybe this will lead to something? Something indescribable, unforeseen, miraculous?
Something is on its way. Something hidden. It's coming. A miracle from the northwest, and it's almost here. You can feel it in the air, on your hands. The cold spring air smoothing them over.
In my first playthrough, my psyche was so low that my tie never talked to me. It really threw me the next time I played. Yeah, I think this is a game that I'm going to have to play multiple times for sure. Why were you feeling pleasure when you died?
Maybe I was getting my rocks off.
So, you were feeling sexual arousal when they were hanging you?
Do I look like an erotic auto-asphyxiation type to you?
Yes.
Captain Copodromo, I fear we are drifting away, fixating on sexuality again.
He didn't choke himself. You know it.
I hate you. You stink and you're boring.
Do I remind you of someone?
A child born with Muller's disease, harlequinism, grown up miraculously.
A baby affected with harlequinism.
You sure wrinkled out of that one, Coppolini. Come back later, Coppo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also, see me in your dreams.
That's not at all what that said. I didn't know the gameplay could change that much. Yeah, apparently this game is dense as shit. Squint and take a step back.
As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent mess of green and pink. This is a trick. You've done it before. Pink is where the blood settled in the first hours post-mortem. You can use it to see if the corpse has been tampered with. Does his position at the time of death match the discoloration? Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air.
His face and hands are pink. Thighs too.
I see it. His neck too. The lividity goes right up his chin. We have good, well-pronounced discoloration here.
The monster comes back into focus. An explosion of color, coursing with dark marbled veins.
Ew.
His stomach appears pregnant.
So, what do you think?
I think he's dead. I think he was upright after death. His hands, feet, and neck are discolored. Something is coming out of him. He's beaten up. See the bruises. I think he's dead. Duh.
A pool of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen mud below the man's feet. Purge liquid is dripping into it.
The victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilogram of digestion at the time of death.
The fuck he's saying?
Talking about shit.
Yeah.
Malicious laughter erupts in the yard. Sounds like seagulls.
Big said he's a...
The lieutenant's face is made of stone.
I think he was upright after death.
Agreed, especially on the neck. The belt acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis supports a hanging.
Could it still be he was moved after death?
There's always a chance. We should check for ligament marks on his neck to see if they're in tune with the belt. We'll have to get him down first.
He's beaten up.
I do. Most of them are post-mortem. Maybe even all of them. The delinquents have made our jobs harder with their little sport.
Damn kids.
Stop talking in riddles, coin slot.
He means you fucked him up good, Kuno. Fucked him up brutal-like.
Brutal-like. I think he's dead.
I agree.
His personality is no longer a part of the world.
Totally dead.
The world no longer stores his personality in its composition. There was a time for that, and it ended 7 days ago. Deadity dead, dead, dead.
Dabba doob doob dead.
Dabba doop doop dead. Kim. 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 I love you. Dabba doop doop dead.
But there is no breath to catch. Only the cadaver filling the air and your nostrils. He slowly rotates before you, decomposing.
So, how do we get him down?
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's done.
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos, and extremities.
I have something I need to know, Corpse Man.
Of course.
Okay, never mind.
Come back late.
The steel-reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach to the belt.
Let's see. We got one skill point. No thoughts. So, no thoughts, head empty. So we need to upgrade a skill, probably. Inland Empire is wild. Why is Inland Empire so high? The Copgeist. Well, we have interfacing. Pain threshold, we already upgraded that. Maybe I should do empathy? No. With the, I don't know. Tool for high-strung investigators. Shoot now, ask questions later, cops. No. No, no fight or flight. We don't want to give the cop any fight or flight. Shivers is cool. Shivers comes when the temperature drops and you become more keenly aware of your surroundings. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Okay. Steel reinforced belt presents a unique challenge.
He doesn't actually think the challenge is unique. He thinks it's frustrating, annoying, and harder than he thought.
The art of this game is beautiful. Yeah, it really is. Like, everything just kind of looks like a painting. It definitely reminds me of an adventure game, for sure. Even though it's isometric or whatever, it reminds me of an adventure game. Because a lot of older adventure games kind of had this this look of like everything was drawn on to it, and like the code is just made there to put like walls and shit, but like all the environments looked like drawn or like painted or whatever, and I thought that was really cool. This kind of gives me the same kind of the vibe, you know. Even the characters are intentionally low resolution out here. He doesn't actually think the challenge is unique. He thinks it's frustrating, annoying, and harder than he thought.
The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting the airship strength material.
I also love the portraits. The portraits are fantastic. Maybe we could shoot him down? Maybe we can ask for help from the harbor. We could saw the branch.
Climb up there and saw the branch?
Yeah, it seems dangerous.
There has to be a less risky way, with less falling down of trees.
I believe the environments are 2D, only the characters are 3D. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. Yeah, because this kid's kind of clipping through. You can see his arm kind of clipping right there. Seems like a... Can we shoot him down?
Yeah! Bang bang time, pig! Shoot his head off!
How?
Where the buckle ties the rope to the branch. That's a good spot to aim.
Point to it. There, the buckle holds... Yeah.
Where? Ah, yes, I see. If the shot hits that, there might be a chance to release the belt.
Yeah, now we're talking.
They'll miss! The pigs will miss, Kuno!
I don't want it to ricochet. I feel like it'll kill a kid. I feel like it'll kill one of the kids. Say nothing, let him choose.
Silence. With his elbow sharp, and produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks. That's a Kiel A9090 Armistice, mass-produced muzzleloader, ascetic, frugal, one of the most common firearms. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's desk position, taking aim. The corner of his eye twitches. His finger is on the trigger.
Easy does it, partner.
He's gonna fucking...
The trigger voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the surrounding tenements. A cloud of smoke slowly.
God damn it.
Damn.
He feels bad about it. About his eyes mostly. Just having bad eyesight. Probably from a young age. Whatever you do, do not console him.
Oh, he missed.
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not fucking handicapped, is he?
Try again, maybe?
No, we are lucky as it is. We didn't break anything. Any more mistakes could put us in an unfortunate position with the locals. We have eyes on us. I didn't do us any favors with that.
What now?
I have to say, it's beginning to look unlikely we can get him down without assistance.
Maybe we can ask for help from the harbor?
I was really hoping we wouldn't. The Union appear to be suspect in this case. It seems like a dangerous route to go down.
Yeah, wait, let's reconsider.
But what other options? The corpse twists on the belt, like chicken on a skewer.
Can someone else do it?
Someone else? You mean like...
The police.
The police?
What was that about processing, then? Weren't they supposed to take care of the boots? Why don't they help?
Can't the boys from processing take care of this?
No.
Why?
Think of the boys from processing as murderers. Only instead of people, they murder crime scenes. Processing is a wrecking crew. They know how to commission off items. And I know it's hard, but I assure you, the others won't come to help us. And we have a growing sanitary concern here. We need to... It's bad as it is. Us shooting firearms, like, go ahead. I'm not stopping you.
This is the sorry.
Yeah, take it, you fucking banana boyka.
Oh boy.
Take it and shoot yourself in the
Feel the weight first.
A cold piece of bakelite and gunmetal is surprisingly light.
The fuck are you waiting for, Kuno? Tell him to shoot himself
Oh
in the
no.
mouth.
The buckle comes into focus in your sights. You stand with your feet planted firmly in the ground.
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your mouth?
This isn't mere boundary pushing. There is a true suicidal rage in the kid as she's provoking you.
Oh, geez. Close your left eye
Your
first.
field of view narrows. The branch slowly moves, becoming entirely two-dimensional. The slow movement of the branch in the wind, and your shoulders directing the gun sink up.
Look, he's crying.
Oh boy.
You gonna cry now?
I'm afraid.
Fucking faggoty.
I don't think I have... I don't think I should do it. I shouldn't do it.
I agree. Enough gunslinging for today.
But what about the body?
We need to access the harbor and ask the leader of the Union to have it taken down. They have the tools and...
Okay, I guess let's go to the harbor. And the little guy gets smaller and smaller as you rise above the dollhouse world. You see him out in the snow, on the streets, in the shop on the corner, and finally, in a matchbox house. Sitting by the window, white flowers on the windowsill. You can smell them from up here. It's awful. A white morning, a modern death, divorce, or something similar. All you can do is put more distance between you and him, make him smaller. 20% zoom out distance. Oh, wow. That is a big zoom out. Holy shit. How do I get over there, though? Well, I guess let's get into the Union building. There's a roof up there. Let's see what we can do. Or what's this? And notice, in case of strike, press button behind guard. A hermetically sealed door locked by electronic means. There's no lockpicking or door kicking this one.
Nobody betrays your degeneracy.
Okay.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
What do you mean my body betrays my degeneracy?
You have succumbed to Al-Ghul.
His face contorts in disgust as if he were smelling a dead rat.
You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al-Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick.
Wait, Al Ghul?
Yes, Al-Ghul.
It means alcohol.
Do you mean alcohol?
Correct. My small skull servant. Al-Ghul is an ancient maran poison. A parasitic fungus.
It is a trick the desert pygmies.
It is a trick the desert pygmies played on you for humiliating them and stripping them of their land.
Intentionally fermented drinks have existed for 10,000 years.
The Ilmarin people did not invent alcohol. It's existed since the Neolithic.
This is a fabrication the alchemists of Yizot and Bashir and the Rolam and Rul have fed you people. Go on believing in it, raise loser.
Raised loser? I don't think that's how history works.
Why don't you have another drink? Your features are not yet congenitally deformed enough.
Oh yeah, Measurehead.
Oh no. I don't have a problem with Al Ghul. I just drink a little on the weekends.
Your mouth moves, but the one who speaks is Al Ghul. You are but Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The influence
The
of
ham
the
sandwich race?
Is reigning.
So many of the thoughts are written like poetry. The whole game has a much more poetical writing style than most games, which is, yes, it is chef's kiss. That fat racist over there, you're just hip after pumping some iron. I am the police and I need you to comply. Oh god. First, let me make... I am a drunk. I can't lie to him.
Begging for help. Attempting to pass fear for cooperation. How far the Occidental Haplogroup has fallen. You were once a noble and powerful race.
Oh boy.
You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war like missiles and aerostatic aircraft. You made great gains in metallurgy, race theory, and state. You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed.
What?
Pharaohs. But now your ascent to the genetic summit has halted. You are obsessed with sadness.
This guy really is a supremacist.
You will be superseded. Isn't that right, babe?
It is, baby, yeah.
Baby.
There is a button right behind him. Just, this man is not budging. Let's hope his superiors inside are more cooperative.
It was your people who put that dead body up there. Oh god. Come on, I just need you to move about 20 centimeters back.
It is my task to keep the degenerate drunks from entering the army.
You're right about all this. Now I need you to help me get the corpse down from the tree.
Enough with this begging. You should leave the stage of history.
Race war.
Bring your troops to the Seminine Islands and to Boogie Street, and we will pulverize.
Boogie Street?
When you are gone, the walls will be lined with bottles of Al Ghul, your beloved beverage. Inside, we will store the oaths to homosexuality you call out.
Okay.
There may be a peaceful solution to this. You could internalize Measurehead's race theory.
No.
He would take you as one of his
Wouldn't that mean I have to become a Seminese supremacist myself?
Well, yes. Why? Don't you want to be a Seminese supremacist? So what if you're not Seminese? You can be anything.
Why did that not match up? Well, not as such. What do you do with the mastery of advanced race theory is up to you. You could reject the findings, sure, or accept them and become an advanced racist. You serve the Union, don't you? Aren't they white? What are those tattoos of yours supposed to mean?
Racists are generally not very good examples of their race. I am not like them.
I am craniometric perfection.
I have taken the trouble to permanently draw a phrenologic grid on my skull and features. This should dispel any doubt.
You sure I'm not craniometrically superior to you?
You exhibit forward projection of the jaw, indicative of schizophrenia and sexual inaccountability. From a purely aesthetic standpoint, the dimple in your jaw makes you look like a baby. This is not
what
common.
else?
It is impossible to see any more of your bone structure.
Fleshy lips.
It is covered. This leads me to conclude you are not a police officer. You are a common criminal, an offspring of murderers and sailors from Sur la Clé and Vesper, and possibly even the degenerate sheep herders of Ubi.
Ubi. Interesting. So one of my ancestors was Sur la Clé and other Vesper?
Your racial heritage is uninteresting. It is the same as all Rivasholians. Your parents and their parents made the decision to reproduce while under the influence of
Know anything about this mug? Here's a racist
does
mug.
not so much as glance at the object.
This your kind of thing?
Stop showing me your pathetic cup. I have no idea. He had nothing to do with it.
You serve the Union, don't you? Aren't they white?
Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. The race enigma runs much deeper than that.
Yeah, but you still serve them. How does that factor into your life?
Mr. Claire is a man of vision and means. He has the will to confront polycultural capital, something your race, naivistic communists, never did. Also, to serve
Hot takes.
is not.
Hot takes today.
It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure. It is lax and moronic.
Communism is pretty cool.
Idiotic communism is the single greatest contributor to your race.
Individualism, rock and roll music.
Around you. The fruits of its failure to challenge the world order. Above all, rampant multinational finance still reigning large. Tell me, where have you gotten your love of pathetic communism from? Degenerate youth culture?
Degenerate
Rock and
youth
roll
culture.
music?
I've gotten it from disco, actually.
Offshoots of the Seminoles people invented disco while having sex under the influence of cocaine. It is a shame upon my race. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable cultural victory of the Seminoles race.
I don't really know who the Seminoles are. I've recently experienced head trauma.
I can see that. The Seminoles are the South Island race.
The fuck is a haplogroup? It sounds...
The
This guy's a
rightful
dork.
masters of the insular
He's a fucking nerd.
archipelago. We descend from the Areopagites of ancient Pericarnassus and arrived here for we are the future. That is
So you were born and raised on the islands before you moved to Revachol?
I am a descendant. The narrow
My
streets
genetic
of
dreams.
Louis are with me in my genetic dreams. I see young Seminoles women walk into the grey mass on Ile de Fantôme, waiting on immaculate conception from the pay.
Of course. So you did not come from the islands.
I have heard about it on the radio.
So you're not really Seminese, you're just from Revachol.
I'm from Couronne. And no, it is not just in Revachol. The city is central to the Simonese strategy. Spreading through its trade networks, our culture will dominate the world.
What? Culture.
You have heard enough about our phylogenetic secrets for today. You have extinction to come to terms with, and never get in that.
Kim, what do you think about this?
I think this racist is better than the last, but the next racist will be the one.
That will be the...
That will be our lucky racist.
He will grant us 3 wishes.
Your pedomorphic friend has quick wits, a protruding occiput, and an indented zygomatic bone.
The lieutenant does not flinch.
You should keep him close. The congenital defect of farsightedness does not render him a complete invalid. He still has...
We still need to get into the harbor. We need help with the tree situation. There must be another way.
I'm probably gonna have to try and jump. Psst. Look around. Psst.
Hey, you.
Who, me?
Yes, you. Word on the street is to start building communism.
Vosh is in my game. Vosh came into my game. He heard that I was debating people. He heard that I was bread pilling the local denizens of Revachol. Word on the street is I'm a communist. You want to take the means of production, bro? How come there's word on the street?
You keep saying things like down with the bourgeoisie, eat the rich, sodomize the landowners, impale people who have more than 25 real in their pockets, literally murder all human beings regardless of their political beliefs. That kind of stuff.
What? Rhetoric, hello? Be careful with what words you use tactically. Ugh. I've said some mildly left-wing things, but none of those. Well, I haven't said anything like that.
Okay, not in so many words, but don't deny it. You're about to rip off that mask of social democracy and reveal the monstrous seven-eyed lamb of global communism.
You're going too hard, Rhetoric. Rhetoric, you're going too hard.
Everyone can see that. So tell me, do you have any questions before we fire up the big communism builder?
I didn't know this would be so overtly political. Oh yeah. I think that's one of the things I was most excited about. Wait, first, what's this communism even about?
Failure. It's about failure.
Failure?
Yes, abject failure. Total, irreversible defeat on all fronts. Absolutely vanquished, beaten, curb-stomped and pissed on. Until you came along. You will reverse the fortune of the workers, you alone. Against every living thing.
I don't know about that.
Against every human alive. 800 trillion real in the hands of an impossibly well-organized ruling class. Towering city blocks of bankmen who have the ears of prime ministers. Million-headed armies of nations and the love of your own mother. You against the atom, the charm and the spin. Where the whole world failed. Matter failed to bend to human will.
You are the last communist.
To get out of bed and tie its laces. You alone, single-handedly, will rebuild the dreams of the working class. You are the last communist.
The last communist.
Now get to work, comrade.
Now get to work, comrade. Sure.
Oh yeah. Get the firing squads
and the
animal wagons ready.
Wait, what firing squads? You didn't say anything about that.
Too late to back out now. You can't make a fight without breaking a few million eggs.
Okay. I don't know why they really want me to be a tanky. Like, Okay. I think we could get into... I think we could get into the warehouse by going upstairs. I think there's a way for us to jump. I'm just unsure if I'd be able to make the check. I feel like I'll like break my leg or some shit. Do you know the trick to get the final cut stuff? Because it's sort of easy to miss. No, I do not. I'm just experiencing right now. Yeah, sure. I mean, is it optional, I guess? I mean, if it's something that you can fairly quickly just be like, hey, yeah, it's over there, then like I'll go grab it. But I'm not too worried about it if it's too complicated. Or if it's I'm sure I'll bump into it eventually. Let's try to jump, I guess.
A tarpaulin cloak is still caught on the railing. No one has claimed it for their own.
Let's try it. I failed. He's like, yeah, no.
Nope, no. That's still too high. What were you thinking? You're not a gymnast. You're a boxer.
Sure. Just be careful, okay? Looks like you almost strained him.
No, my health is down. Ideology internalized. You need to have a political ideology before you sleep on the third day. It's very worth doing. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. I'll probably be a communist. Instant photo of tattoos.
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso. It almost looks like the electronic patterns inside a radio computer or an old filament memory. But not quite.
What's the meaning of this tattoo?
For you to discover. You've gotten as far as you will without assistance. Someone who knows about history could tell you.
Who are you?
Gone.
Oh. Okay. People think communism was some crazy idea that hadn't come up in 40 years ago, a fever that shook the world, never to return again. They were right, until he woke up today. A spiritual corpse responsive only to the call of Commodore Red, prostitutes, and Krasmasov. For him, communism is still a thing. He will single-handedly raise the commune of O2 from the oceanic trench where it has been resting, covered in ghosts and seaweed. He is the big communism builder. Come, witness his attempt to rebuild communism in the year 51. I need to buy a skill slot, though, before I can internalize that. Barrels of rainwater. Okay. I guess let's look around a little bit more. See if there's anything useful.
The dented yellow mailbox.
Where else can we go? A lonely cormorant surveys the sea, indifferent to your approach.
This is on the side of an apartment building.
Why am I looking at this wall? Oh. I'd love to look at it. I'll have to remember that's there. A garden hose. There must be another way into the building. Chairs and tables eaten by rain and rot. Another splattering of bullet holes. Just a closed door, but you look at it suspiciously. A balcony with view to the yard and the hanging.
You see a young man on a balcony nursing a cigarette. His eyes have been following you for a while.
Not looking for any trouble, officer.
He says in a quiet voice despite the cold. His shirt hangs unbuttoned on his frame. No trouble from me. I just want to know what's going on here.
I don't want to be seen talking to the gendarmerie if that's okay. I just want to finish my cigarette.
Don't let him go. This could be your witness. The balcony has a great view of the whole thing.
Actually...
Is it really that important?
Like a nervous cat, he keeps stealing looks at the neighboring windows.
All right, but make it quick. Once I finish this cigarette, I have to run.
Looks like you've got a good view of the Whirling's backyard. Can you tell me anything about the hanging? Oh, can you tell me your name?
My name? My name is Martin Martinez.
That's definitely not his real name.
You're not actually called Martin Martinez, are you?
No, of course not. Could you please lower your voice?
Looks like you've got a good view of the Whirling's
I'd even
backyard.
go so far as to say that the view is a little too good, my dear gendarme. Do you have an estimate of when the body will be taken away?
We will remove the body as soon as possible. Now tell us, where were you last Sunday?
Oh. You already asked me that, didn't you?
Wait, is someone else investigating the lynching?
Did I?
No, not you. Some more muscular type.
And when did you speak to this more muscular gentleman?
The smoker looks a little bit like you.
Last
Yeah,
week?
right?
I don't know. Look.
It'll take more than rain to bring this place back to life.
You didn't answer the question. What were you doing last Sunday?
I had a friend over.
What kind of friend?
It was my Sunday friend.
What's your friend's real name? Did he see something?
He doesn't reply, gesturing no with his cigarette. Under the grey sky.
No. We won't. Now, if you'll excuse me, I really need to get going.
Convince him to stay? Let's do it.
This isn't the place or time for questions. Who knows who might be watching from the distance, hidden behind the curtains.
Hey, listen. I'm just trying to make things okay again. Can we meet again somewhere else?
For a moment, the man on the balcony seems almost vulnerable. Something moves in the depths of his feline eyes. Compassion.
We had a moment.
A hint of understanding.
I am sorry, but I really don't have the information you're looking for.
But, hold on. What's that? For a split second, his hand lingers, as though gesturing towards a stone placed right next to the front door. It's a sign.
Good luck with the investigation.
Okay. Goodbye, mysterious smoker man.
He's gone.
We should run after him, see where he went.
No point in running. Tenements like these often have multiple exits. If he doesn't want to talk to us, then he'll know how to hide himself.
So we just give up?
He could be a witness. Him or his Sunday friend. Either way, We need to look into that muscular type who's asking about. He did leave us a sign. Did you see that? He wanted to draw our... If we find a way inside the building, we can...
Stone.
A stone, like any other, lying in a whirl of sleet and mud. There's a key beneath it.
A key?
Rusty.
This must be for the front door. Pity it doesn't have the apartment number on it.
How are we going to find the right one?
We'll just have to go in and see.
Into the apartment. Eviction notices and missing pets are plastered on top of each other. This box is filled with cleaning chemicals. Smells of laundry detergent. Glasses. Give me those glasses. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a look. That's a look. An old shoe rack, boots, sneakers, and old slippers. Apartment number 12. A loud rumbling snore comes from within. These shoes come in 3 different sizes. What's in here? These shower curtains are covered in some sort of slime. Slime. Okay, let's see what else we got around here. Someone has drawn a 5-point star on the wall.
This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the board says, number 11.
Knock.
No reply. It's a solid lump of metal, but the shackle is deeply corroded. Better whip out those cutters. You won't get very far otherwise.
Oh, I need to put the tool in hand. I'm just gonna break in. That's fine.
This door has been closed with a padlock. The shackle snaps like a twig.
After you, detective.
Flashlight.
A plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged man with impressive sideburns. The name on the plinth reads...
I found
Kras
a communist...
Mazov.
A communist... apartment.
Honestly, he does kind of look like you after all.
Okay. Why does this tenant have a bust of Kras Mazov in the room? Kim, you have to admit this Kras Mazov bears a striking resemblance to me. Father Mazov, the hero of the working class.
Hold on a second. Is this why you broke in here? To find out whether you're Kras Mazov?
I have to consider and investigate all possibilities.
Except that Kras Mazov is dead. He's been dead for 50 years now.
Just humor me for a moment. Don't you see the resemblance?
Well, you both do seem to share an affinity for sideburns. But it seems like old Kras here didn't drink nearly as much as you.
Maybe this bust shows him before he started drinking. Yeah, I have a problem with alcohol.
You do, but that's not the point. The point is, he doesn't look like you.
How do you know? The bust is probably a romanticized depiction anyway.
Very well. Let's look for identifying features then. Doesn't he have a birthmark right here? What about you?
I can't tell. I can't see my face.
All right, but here's the big thing. Kras Mazov looks Samaran, and you don't.
You're right. That's something we definitely don't have in common.
Good, so you're not him.
You're right. I'm really not.
It's decided. You are not the most famous philosopher of the modern period.
Why does this tenant have a bust of Kras Mazov in the room?
The White Star, the photos on the wall. I think we have broken into the apartment of a young communard. How fitting.
How fitting. Father Mazov, the hero of the working class.
Whoever lives here definitely shares your enthusiasm. There aren't many communists around, not after the revolution. Some youth still keep the ideology going, it seems.
Books of critical theory on the monstrosities of capital and such. Photos of revolutionaries posing with guns. A flamboyant poster of a white star. Ooh, a bullet. I kind of want to put on that jacket. It looks stylish. What's my current one give me? Oh yeah, that's good. That's some good shit right there. Okay, I'm done with the flashlight. I don't need it. Postcard.
You hear someone walking around inside. The walking stops abruptly. You can feel tension on the other side. A poor communard from the looks of it. The room is barely bigger than a closet.
This is the police open hub. Do I have to open the door? You hear the clacking of heels again as the other side walks right up to the door. Her tone is now getting a defensive edge. Do you have a warrant? I'm not obligated to open the door if you don't have a warrant.
Let's go. We don't have a reason to get inside that apartment.
It's generally easier to do things if you have literally any reason.
The door number 9 is locked. Part number 8, their mailbox is overflowing. Hey, there's a box. With money!
Give me a moment.
The elderly woman is leaning on her broom, her knuckles white as bone. She seems to be having difficulty breathing.
The cold never does any good for my bronchitis.
Are you alright? Should I call a doctor?
I'm fine. Fine. Don't you worry about me.
You're still worried. It's very worrying.
Now, what do you want from me, policeman?
She's the cleaning lady. She knows the floor plan and the residence.
I'm looking for a young male in his mid-20s, dark hair, skinny build.
Yes, yes. I know who you mean. The scrawny boy who's always smoking like the devil, right?
Somewhere in the building, a child starts crying. You hear a radio tuned to a talk show and someone taking a shower.
What's he in trouble for?
No trouble, I just want to talk to him. Do you know where he lives?
Talk?
What was so funny about that?
He lives upstairs in room 28. Go to the balcony. It's one of those doors there.
Thank you. We should go check out his apartment on the balcony.
Who are you?
I'm no one. Just an old woman who cleans these hallways.
Do you live here?
If you can call it living. I have a little room upstairs right next to the coal room. It's barely bigger than a closet. But I don't complain, no.
Sad
I
old
have
lady.
My bed and my aching bones to keep me company. And that's all I need from this world.
She hasn't spoken to anyone for a while. Even her sentences feel rusty.
I have a few questions about these apartments.
Ask away, policeman.
Is one of the residents on vacation? Their mailbox is overflowing.
People come and go. I don't keep an eye on everyone.
They probably just moved or died. Hopefully somewhere else.
Who lives in apartment number 10?
No one lives there. It's been empty for months.
But I talked to someone through the door.
Impossible. I would know if someone had moved in there. Maybe it's those countercultural
Counterculture people.
breaking into a house like it's a public space. You're a policeman. Be good and take a look, will you?
Sure, I'll go see what I can find.
Great. Young people. They're worse than rats. You know, always littering the hallways with trinkets and empty...
Who lives behind the
beer
padlock
cans.
door?
Oh, that one is a scientist. A future scholar. I think he studies astrology at the community college. Something to do with all those stars around his door. He asked me to leave his drawings up on the wall.
You mean the star and antlers? I think that's the symbol of communism.
The symbol of what now?
You know, the ones who support the working class against capital. It's an ideology. It has some noble aims, but it's also been used to justify terrible bloodshed. Sure. The cleaning lady shrugs and returns to sweeping.
The clash of ideas and atrocities are as far from her world as fairies and wizards.
That's all.
Oh,
Let's try not to bread pill the old lady. The graffito says, a firing squad for the rich. Oh. A note reads, foreclosed by Martinez Realty Associates. Balcony. What's this? Someone has torn down the wall. Sea below looks cold and winter gray. An old grocery list on the table and checks. No Sfed.
What happened here?
Can't foreclose on an apartment with a hole in the wall.
It will still be accessible through the apartment next to it. That one didn't have a door. Sadly.
Except the stuff in the
nothing of
fridge.
great indeed.
Okay. Let's see. Is this apartment 10?
You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The number on the panel says 10.
This apartment is supposed to be empty. Did you break in here? Excuse me, of course not.
There's no sweet talking your way in there. Be official. You have plenty of reason to enter.
Then open the door so I can verify your identity.
Well, that was easy.
That was smart.
Hello? What the fuck?
Satisfied? My name is Marielle Charpentier, and I'm an agent with Martinez Realty Associates. I am not breaking in, as I have every right to be here. The keys, see?
I hate her smile.
Her voice is really cheerful, despite her obviously hating you.
Do you want to see my ID as well? You can't legally ask for it, but why not? Want to see my residence permit too?
I don't need your ID, I just need to ask you some questions.
Very well, but please make it quick. I need to be back in La Delta in an hour.
Who lived in the foreclosed apartment down the hallway?
Oh, that's another huge mess. The former tenant owes us 3 months of rent. 3. We closed the apartment and planned on auctioning off the valuables, but... And again, I have no idea how stupid mistakes like this can even happen. But Ron, when he came to close the door, didn't close the neighboring door. And there's a hole in the wall. A hole in the wall. Can you believe it? And then the tenant ran off with his stuff. He's gone. The money's gone. Just like that.
The sum must have been puny. Oh, it irks her. The incompetence.
It couldn't have been that much money. These apartments look pretty shabby.
These apartments are perfectly fine. They have gorgeous architecture, a million real view of the bay, good ventilation, neighbors, life, spark, and they are affordable. I'll tell you, Martinez has a future. In a few years, it's going to blossom with artists and creatives and those radio computer wizards.
It's as if they're real wizards, able to resurrect dead real estate and breathe life into bank accounts.
My money has also disappeared, I think.
Well, it does not disappear from my hands. No, I don't let it.
So wait, what's happened with the wall?
Don't ask me what happened with the wall. I have no idea how we're going to find the time or resources to fix it. Both apartments are now unrentable. Both.
What are you doing here?
I need to get it ready for the next lease, but as you can see, the previous tenant completely trashed the place.
Sounds like they know how to have a good time. I fuck shit up too.
It was some kind of a moribund old man who used to be a business owner. You'd think they'd make rent, but that was months ago. Anyway, was there anything you wanted, or is that it? Of course.
Okay. I'm just gonna take some shit, don't mind me. A blister pack of medicine peeks out of the box. You should take it. Hypnogamma. Looks like a fine mattress. Black monk straps. +1 to indirect modes of taxation. What? Sure, why not? The most advanced dress shoe. Huh.
The luxury of fine things. Just look at those black monk straps. After spending an entire day hustling, Who's to say that you didn't deserve a pair of ridiculously expensive shoes?
Oops, it's a fashion faux pas.
Let's hope no one saw you wearing these outrageously expensive
And ultra-liberal shoes? Amazing. They get all the jokes right. Wait, where does this lead? Oh, interesting. Inside the frame of a motorcycle in repair and the tools used to disassemble it. There's a girl up there. Did she spill the paint? Cape Side Apartments. What?
The streets will flow red once more. A great torrent rushing down Rue de Esperance. You wait and see.
The streets will not flow red with anything. Who are you?
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else?
Cindy
do you
the
wanna
Skull.
know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C.
Let's start with your blood type and go from there.
Go where? Accosting a minor?
Listen to your partner, pig man. Keep your grubby hooves off little old ladies.
Keep looking off to the side. What are you looking at?
She nods disdainfully toward the woman performing maintenance on the boat docked next to the hatred, disgust. It's difficult to tell which of the two is more present in her girlish features. The woman on the boat does not notice her staring.
That Ozon her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
Ozon is an archipelago 2 days' travel away from Rivershore. Its moneyed residents, used to posh restaurants and upscale boutiques, rarely have reason to visit Martinez.
Probably the Wild Pines rep. We should talk to her. She's a professional negotiator, though. I have the feeling she will be very cooperative while telling us nothing. You should take the lead. Ask her unexpected questions, you know? Do your thing. Don't be afraid to get a bit wacky. Throwing her off is our best bet.
Good idea, piggies. Run along now. Fuck her shit up good. Impound that boat while you're at it. I'd like to watch her swim back to Ozon.
What are you doing to the wall?
Can't you tell? I'm painting a beautiful
An aero
mural,
graffito?
An aero graffito visible from low orbit. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words.
So you don't know what to write?
Have you ever tried your hand at graffitio? When faced with a blank wall, most people write unimaginative stuff, like pigs go home and Mono is here. We rarely see pigs round here, though. Just union cats. And my name's not Mona, so...
She wants it to be something true and total.
Why are you so committed to defacing the building?
This place is severely lacking in havoc. Not even
Damn,
the
I'm down with
occasional
that.
trash can fire to break up the tedium. I thought I'd mix it up, you know, summon the forces of crime and social chaos with a wall-sized invitation.
I have an opinion on this. Want to hear it?
Yeah?
I love public art. Don't mind us. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks. I'm sure the inspiration will come to me.
She means the opposite. You've lessened her desire to deface the building.
Oh boy. Do you know anything about the recent murder?
I ain't no snitch, pigstein. Go forth and forage in someone else's shit. No shortage of squealers in these parts.
I thought you just said there weren't a lot of us.
Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to us in a normal, calm, informative manner.
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant. Fucko. Watch your back, ungulate. You've got eyes on you.
I don't blame her. Let's see what she's got to say over here. The belly of this boat shines like it was recently painted. Docking reserved for residents of Rue de Sangues Lane. Hello? Who is you?
A striking woman, leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Good afternoon, officers. I'm Joyce. Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
Joyce L. What does the L stand for? RCM, what is that? I'm a little foggy here.
I meant you, the Revachol Citizens Militia, the police. Leighton, my maiden name.
Leighton. Her bony hand dangles from the sleeve of her oversized raincoat. What gave us away?
Nothing, honestly. I've said it to every drunk in town, and you're the first one who's responded.
Relax. She meant it in jest.
Shake
I'm
her
glad
hand.
to see you here. I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
Why did he warn her?
There's a trace of irony in his voice. Mischief, even. This
I
is
love
a
Kim.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
It's hard to get a read on her precise disposition, but she appears helpful.
You seem rich. Can I have some money?
Is what you want to say, but it isn't that easy, is it?
What? Why not?
Look at that lady. Take a gander. Squint your eyes, bub.
What nice fabrics.
Why, yes. Tucked away under that sturdy green raincoat, almost rustic in its simplicity, a silk shirt and matching scarf around her gentle throat, while dull orange pearls hang from her earlobes, red from the cold. Her light green eyes.
The way the voice
scan
actor
you,
has
full of
cadence through,
knowledge and
like the
worry.
reading.
Wealth and all its possibilities.
It's really unique. Like the cadence is, it's like slow and deliberate, but like it reads like poetry. Like it sounds like poetry.
These are the kind eyes of the rich man that seem to say everything is possible, within reason. Now look at you, you misery-clad simian, barely able to tie your own laces. Your armpits are lakes. A scythe of booze precedes you. Your hair sticks to your forehead, and your underwear feels uncomfortable. You're poor as balls.
Poor as
You
balls.
can't ask this person for money. You're too.
I'm a goddamn working man. I'm not ashamed to shake this leech for some dough. This is a woman and I'm a man.
You think your little communism takes you from this feeling? No. The more demeaning it is to grovel at her feet.
As I was saying, if there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't hesitate to ask.
Volition. I'm taking your money.
I am sorry.
What?
It just doesn't come out of your... Surprisingly eloquent, really. The last one, not the first three. Those are ape speak.
Ape speak.
Excuse me? I didn't hear you. Did you say money?
No, I didn't. Let's talk about something else. I'm surprised I missed that check. You notice something about these tattoos?
That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question.
So you know something about the tattoos.
Better not tie the fourth day to the Pat's day on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with.
She wants to answer the question. Protocol keeps her from it.
What can you tell me about this lynching?
Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57, and this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
How curious. Why is that, Detective?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events.
Remember when my partner told you I'd recently suffered from an unusual medical episode? My lost badge is related to it.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
I could have eaten it for all I know. I don't remember anything. This world, the city, nothing.
Oh dear. Some kind of encephalopathic amnesia. I don't even know how to respond. I do believe you, naive as that may sound. I simply can't imagine what you gain by faking such a condition.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until
I gotta find my badge.
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
Let's do it. Let's hope I get it.
She's
Nice.
a negotiator. Just float a favor at her. Insinuates.
Surely there's some other way to demonstrate our law enforcement credentials.
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something very tangible.
You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain.
Like what?
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason.
They're profiting from this trade.
The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones. Or you can recover your badge. Though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost cause.
Detective, a word in private before we continue.
Excuse us for a moment, madame.
This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective.
How did you hope it would go?
Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance and, not volunteer us to be her henchmen.
Really? I thought it was going so well.
This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way,
Well,
we've
damn.
played straight into her.
He doesn't let it show, but there is a limit to how much the consequences of your unprofessional behavior can cost the investigation. Maybe this is all her plan. She might have heard about you.
Company must have more ears on the ground. What do you propose? That we don't investigate the drug trafficking?
I'm sure you will, Detective.
The company must have more
I
ears to the
wouldn't go that
ground.
far. Her reaction did come off as sincere to me. I think she's just quick to adapt. She's a professional, after all.
What do you propose? That we don't investigate the drug trafficking?
If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we are siding with the Union. Or that we... What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done and demand for her information on the lynching.
We could just, find my badge.
Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is large and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters.
The situation might have changed drastically by the time you locate it. Time is of the...
You could request a new one from the station, but that would literally take months.
Okay.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
What can you tell me about this strike?
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
Wait. What if I want to hear about trade secrets?
First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade in Aliments. That gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus.
An octopus? I will slay it.
Good luck. It's only kept in place by the vested interests of half the civilized world, including your own.
What the ma'am means is that the Emergencies Act and the RCM both get their authority from the coalition government.
You'd be shooting yourself in the foot, in other words.
But I am derailing us. You wanted to know about the strike.
What is your role in this precisely?
I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place.
Well, shit.
Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter 20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
Oh, you mean Measurehead?
Yes, Jean-Luc Measurehead.
How were the talks going before the lynching?
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike?
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
Ludicrous even. It's meant.
What are their demands?
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes, every worker, a member of the board.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
I don't know what to think about that.
Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about anything, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
The king is dead, long live the workers. The workers can't be kings, the king is king. That's pretty funny, I have to admit.
They're having a blast. But how can they afford it? After 4 months, my assumption was they would prefer a more practical solution.
What are you going to do?
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assumed that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags, a disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the bowyer at the gates, the one whose very name advertises his aversion
Call me
to work.
Manana.
I think he said it was, "Call me Manana."
This checks out.
Tell me about this union boss.
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Really?
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
Is he that bad?
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
Wait, there are 2 of him?
Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother.
Oh no, he has the
except for
lazy
that
eye.
lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
What about the union itself outside the Brothers Clare?
The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organised labour at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The Brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
A mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother. And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is...
Basically a socialist mob? Yeah.
Thank you for being candid. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the wolf always hungers.
One more thing. You said something happened in the elections?
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the union. She disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore, or coming to work. Ever.
Spooky.
End of story. Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines suspected foul play, but what could they do? It was a union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
Of course. How else can I help?
Tell me about this alleged drug trafficking.
It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samaran Isola into Revachol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years.
Ingredients for what, ma'am?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL,
Oh.
and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff.
Let me get this straight. The materials come from Samara to Revachol through the terminal?
Yes. After they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jamrock Quarter, north of here.
Wild Pine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am. Do you mean to say the union also produces the product?
We're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no. As far as the company knows, the union does not produce it. They transport the ingredients for a cut.
And you want us to investigate?
Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dock Workers Union. Still.
The handoff. The motor lorries at the roundabout.
The lorries. Am I going to need bolt cutters for this?
Unlikely, officer. I'm talking about the lorries. Once the ingredients reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a network of local manufacturers, well beyond our Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial shipment. I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you.
Okay.
Uncovering union secrets could also give you an upper hand when dealing with them.
What proof do you have that the union is involved?
How do you think they're financing this strike? There are thousands of unpaid dock workers going strong for the 4th month straight.
There was a shakedown of local businesses preceding the strike. Many were squeezed to bankruptcy to fund.
With all due respect to these desert cacti, the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for 2,000 men. The local businesses can scarcely provide for themselves.
So you think the strike is being funded with the source ingredients for drugs?
Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate, most likely, then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to...
It sounds like she tried looking into it herself, though she's clearly not the type your typical lorry man would confide in.
Why didn't you come to the RCM earlier?
We did. On more than one occasion. Apparently, there's some sort of inter-precinct disagreement about whose jurisdiction this area falls under.
We know the company has launched its own probe into the union's alleged involvement. We also know it's come up empty. It's not just the RCM.
Well, here's your chance, officers.
Okay, I've made up my mind about the smuggling. Yeah.
Yes?
We will take this case, probe the driver, see what it yields.
Excellent. According to my reports, there are at least 3 lorry drivers lingering near the roundabout. It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance. Of course.
Okay, I think I'm gonna save for now, and we'll get back to it next week. I got some stuff to do before tomorrow, so I'm gonna end it a little bit early. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. This is definitely a more chill, kind of more like a book, like reading a book, you know. I'm enjoying it a lot. It's got a lot of really good jokes. It's really funny. And it's really interesting. So I'm looking forward to continuing still. But yeah, have a good night, everyone. Stay hydrated. have a good start to your week. Summer's coming up, so it's gonna be pretty neat. Maybe when we move into the new house, we can do a like a stream where we like hang out on the patio or something like that. I think that would be cool. But yeah, have a good night, guys. Peace out.